Citizens for Coastal Conservancy works to protect Southern California's coastal environments and natural resources through education, research, and advocacy, ensuring future generations have public access to rivers, beaches, bays, and wetlands. C4CC's primary goal is to produce sustainable solutions to solve cross-border sewage crisis, primarily impacting South Bay San Diego, for good. Please head to the description of the video or audio to become part of the discussion and the solution. In front of you are two images of Smugglers Gulch, part of San Diego Tijuana River region. One is from 2019, showing clean white sand, and the other from 2024, where the river is caked in sewage sludge and debris. This stark contrast illustrates the demanding effects of poor policies like California State Bill SB507, which has worsened the sewage crisis instead of solving it. Today we present real-time evidence of how SB507 continues to harm our environment and communities. Join us in demanding change by signing the petition in the bio after this video.
So we're right here at Smugglers Gulch, and you can see this water is just running through here. This is the biggest rain we've had this year, and you can see that water goes right over and it's carrying all that sand. On Wednesday of next week, we're going to look at this when this is all dried out, and we'll see how much sand is left here. Well, I just couldn't wait any longer. I told you I'd be back on Wednesday. Here it is the following morning after standing here on the 2nd. Here's the 3rd. And you can see that all the water's gone. In these arroyo canyons, what happens is their nature is to race through and they're dry the next day. In these configurations with static pumping that goes on here is that the sand gets transported towards the beach. And that's this idea of static pumping should be used throughout the Tijuana Valley. It can solve the problem of standing water here in the valley and push this water out in the ocean where the ocean can clean it. Look at this. It's beautiful sand. So the big rains that came have washed this out, and that's exactly the way these arroyo canyons are supposed to work. We're right here looking to the south of Mexico, and here we are 5 years later at the ephemeral crossing. Look at the sewage. 5 years ago, before the county project, this was white sand that would travel to the beach. Now, because of the Smugglers Gulch improvement project, we have created a pond of sewage sludge. This is not an improvement. This is going backwards. The county of San Diego should clean up the river all the way to the ocean and stop the ponding of sewage. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, a lot of people have really recently asked us about what's going on at Smugglers Gulch and the vast amounts of stacked sewage solids that are there. And it's interesting that you brought up the fact that we wrote an article about 5 years ago when that project was proposed. And it was memorialized in the Coronado Times. And the article was put in there is that don't do this because it's going to be exactly like Goat Canyon. And right now, Goat Canyon is costing the state of California $9 million a year to take the Mexican sewage solids and truck them to our landfill, which goes against the complete treaty that we agreed with Mexico. In the long term, these are bad management practices, and they essentially stop the natural ecological normal of what's going on in our river, which is that water should scour, transport, and during the summer months, it should be dry. We need to rethink our practices and use what they use in other river systems. And in other river systems, the sediment, because it supplies our beach with sand, is that sediment is protected by state law because it supplies our beaches with sand.
Why would they do this?
The begging question is, why do you use these best practices all up and down in San Diego County, and yet right here you can't use those practices here? It's just we need answers from our public officials because we're not getting the results that we want after spending tens of millions of dollars.
It's like environmental justice gone bad.
Correct. This is Leon Benham, the president of the Citizens for Coastal Conservancy. We have an unprecedented opportunity to change the environment and our ocean water quality in the South Bay. I ask you to please sign the petition and ask President Trump to invoke presidential emergency powers to protect our health and welfare of our public. We're asking for your help to help our community. Sign the petition and let's move forward.